All right, let's do this. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. What's new at Shopify for the month? Well, we got a lot of things that are new at Shopify. Every month on this channel, I like to go through the Shopify changelog and see what is new, what has been improved, and what is coming to the platform, as I have a Shopify store, in fact, multiple Shopify stores, and I've been running Shopify stores for a long time now. Very important, in my experience, to always stay up to date on all the changes coming to the platform, because this platform is the platform you run your entire business on. So give yourself the competitive advantage, subscribe to the channel for these monthly updates, and let's get started. Just taking a quick look at all the updates that's happened in September. To sum it up in one word, I'd say, it's not the most impressive month, but I feel like that is because we were so fortunate with all the massive updates over the summer that came from Shopify's summer 2023 editions, which I covered in depth of the 100 plus product updates that came to the channel and that were rolling out throughout August, through June, through July, through May. And if you want to get caught up on all of the best features that you can implement right now for your small business that are brand new, that were introduced this summer, I highly recommend you checking out my summer 2023 playlist. But let's start at the very bottom, see what happened in September. Check out my channel for the August summary. And now that it is October, we can put September in the books and get started. So one of the first features that came out this month is this one here, talking about standard shipping now available to Markets Pro. So Markets Pro is a feature used by Shopify stores that sell in multiple markets, because when you sell in multiple markets, there's all kind of things like taxes, there's duties, and there's all kinds of international shipping restrictions that are very, very complicated depending on which country you're shipping to. So instead of figuring out all of these by yourself, Shopify has a feature called Markets Pro that allows a service to handle all of that for you. All the taxes, all the duties, everything is kind of handled for you by Markets Pro. And most of these items are shipped with DHL e-commerce. So what this first update is saying is if you have Markets Pro, that they are now launching international standard shipping with DHL e-commerce, which is what they usually use. And if you use Markets Pro, update your shipping settings to include international standard shipping now that that's been added. The second update here about app connection is not going to be relevant to that many people, so don't need to worry about this one. But the update that came on September 11th is very interesting and should help people, again, if you are targeting more than one market, or if you're targeting more than one language. So now multiple domains can now be used on the primary market. Your store's primary market can now have multiple domain configurations to target languages, different languages. So what this is saying is that you can have multiple domains to target different languages. Obviously, if you're using things like the geolocation app, you have multiple markets of people browsing your store with multiple languages. So now what some companies do is that the subdomain has a language configuration to target your specific languages. So in a domain, it's www.thedomain and then .com. So this part here is called the subdomain. Anything before the actual domain is called the subdomain. So what you can do now is, instead of using submarkets, you can just change your different subdomain here for, English or French or whatever you want, whatever the short form is. You can change your subdomain to target those different languages just by adding multiple domains to the primary market. That's a very handy feature. I can't wait to try that out on my store. Another update that came on September 11th is dealing with Shopify Flow. Shopify Flow is just a way to automate a lot of processes within your Shopify store. So for example, you can set configurations up, like if a customer ordered this item and successfully checked out and purchased the item, wait 2 days to send them a thank you email, and then with a coupon code, and then if the email is opened, do this. If the email is not open, send another email saying last chance after 8 days. That's kind of what Shopify Flow does. It's kind of like this automation. And so there is just an improvement in the library, the templates for Shopify Flow. So just a tiny little improvement there. Moving on, there's another update here on September 11th about the point of service expansion, which is now available in the United Kingdom and in Ireland. So if you're in the United Kingdom and you're in Ireland, you have a POS system. It has now been expanded to more countries. POS is point of service. So if you have your online store, you want to sell in person, in a personal store or just at an event or anything like that, you can get a point of service device, and a POS Go is one of the newest Shopify kind of all-in-one device, which is now being expanded to more markets. That's kind of how things work with Shopify. It seems usually they start off, if they release a new product, it'll start in one market and then it'll expand to another market or another country, another language, another country, and it just kind of rolls out that way. So if you have a feature that you're waiting for and it's not available exactly in your specific location yet, just give it time and you can see the expansion grow month after month. Moving on September 13th, we have another new feature that is added. We always love these yellow tags. If you're watching these updates for a while, you know we get excited about the yellow tag, but this one is a new feature that is relatively straightforward. So what has happened here is that Shopify has added automatic free shipping discount. So you can now offer automatic free shipping to your customers directly from the Shopify admin without having to rely on a discount code, scripts, or an app. So that's kind of fun. Obviously, if you have a Shopify store, you'll know about the discount tab on the side of your admin. What it's saying here is that when you create a discount, you will be able to apply an automatic discount to offer free shipping. Another good marketing strategy, instead of having free shipping calculated at maybe a certain amount at checkout, you can have a promotion maybe in your header for a short period of time that advertises free shipping on all orders. And then the customer won't even have to worry about anything because you can set up an automatic free discount as opposed to a manual discount code that a customer has to put in. Those are the two options that you see within the discount menu in your admin. So that's fun. Moving along, we have this update on September 14th that allows Shopify Payments Balance members to be able to set aside sales tax within their balance account. So if you have Shopify Balance, I don't personally have Shopify Balance on any of my stores or any stores I've ever worked on. I think it's an eligibility thing about the country that you're in, but I know that if you have Shopify Balance, you have a lot more options in your admin regarding Shopify Balance. You have a whole new tab for it, and now it looks like there's going to be a new tab that lets you allocate sales tax and set it aside for easier bookkeeping, easier tax management at the end of the year, because as we know, taxes are not fun for small businesses or entrepreneurs. And one way we can deal with that is with every sale, you can set aside a certain amount of sales tax, or you can set aside amount of tax for the tax season. And now it looks like they're adding a feature so that you can set aside tax in a separate dedicated Shopify Balance account for easier taxes and bookkeeping. Ooh, this is a really good improvement. This isn't a new feature, but it's actually a really fun improvement. So it says improve spam detection in Shopify inbox. We've added new spam filters to help you focus on your customer conversation. So I love Shopify inbox. If you're not using Shopify inbox, highly recommended it. Shopify inbox is a way that you can communicate with your customers. If you ever see a store and a little chat bot comes up in the corner and says, hey, how can I help today? Or it looks like a customer service thing, or it looks like a chat bot, or you open up the little chat bot in the corner and then it opens up a big section like this for frequently asked questions and can give you more detail for customer service needs. That's what Shopify Inbox does. It's a free made and developed app. So if you're not using it, no reason not to be using it. And it looks like what they've done is they've improved spam detection. So obviously Shopify has a lot of fraud filters and stuff like that. If you ever have an order, if you go to your orders page, there's a big section on the side for fraud analysis that helps you understand if this is going to be a fraudulent order, or if the person has a high risk of opening a chargeback against you. And so I'm assuming they maybe just use some of their fraud detection in their fraud order analysis, and they added it to Shopify Inbox so that you can spend less time talking to bots or spams that are filling up your inbox and actually talking to your real customers. That's great. That's great. Love that. We have a new feature here. Again, another one about the POS. I currently don't have a Shopify store with a POS, but I have had Shopify stores with POS. They're a lot of fun and they're not that complicated. I mean, back in the day, let me get to the update and I'll tell you a little story. But it looks like here on September 18th, they have increased the POS pin combination. So you can get over 1 million pin combinations with the ability to set 4, 5, or 6-digit pins when accessing Shopify POS. So just a little security improvement there. This is going to be editable by any account or account owner or staff member that has the manage staff permission within their login. So that's a little security improvement. And then obviously not everybody can change that pin, but only certain accounts with certain permissions can do that. Man, I gotta say, there's a lot of updates when it comes to POS. It makes me want to maybe open a POS, not even just as a store, but I mean, there's so many events you can go to, exhibitions, like conventions, that it's just fun sometimes to just sell your product online. Like just buy, whether you're drop shipping or you make your own stuff or whatever, just get like 100 inventory and set up a little booth for not that much money and then grab a POS POS system. You can buy it. I think you can even rent one if you wanted. I'm not too sure about that, but I remember back in the day when I had a store that had a POS system, the technology just wasn't there yet. And so it was just frustrating at times. Like I remember this one time I was working for a store and we had so many products. App wasn't very well made. And this was like with earlier generation, like iPads and stuff. And I remember this one time we had to do inventory and we just had to keep walking back and forth to where our POS was because, I don't know, the way we had it set up, we couldn't scan these things on the iPad at the time or whatever. But I remember we just had to walk back and forth, put the product back, scan it, put the product back, scan it, put the product back. And it just took so long. So, I mean, if we see all these POS updates, if you ever wanted to start selling things in person, it's definitely a great time to compare to how it was back in the day. And that's another thing. Like if you don't have a Shopify store yet and you want to do it and you're just thinking, oh, everybody does it, things are oversaturated. No, like it's more accessible than ever for sure. But that doesn't mean you can't do it. Like if you have a business idea, go for it. Like you have to go for it. Because what I was trying to say with my story is that technology like this has been out. Shopify has been around for a long time. But I mean, while we were doing our POS, the technology just wasn't updated at the time. Now there's just years and years and years and years of updates, iterations, improvements, and features that make it easier and better than ever now. So, I mean, if you have a business idea, you want to sell in store, you want to sell online, go for it. Go for it. You have to go for it. You want to go for it. So just go for it. We have a small improvement here for managing gift cards. It says manage gift cards with added gift card ID for columns in reports. So if you go to your reports and you want to know which gift card or which customer used their gift card on a certain item, you can look up the gift card ID column in your reports, which will give you more information about how people are using their gift card. Again, we have another improvement here to the POS system, POS Go remote logout. So merchants using the POS can now remotely log out of their devices. Simply go to the devices tab under the POS sale in their admin and select the device and click log out from the store. Just a little security improvement there. Again, another POS update. We have some minor updates about text alignments, a little bit about Shopify Flow again. We have another one here about a little bit of improvements to the customizer input settings when you're building your store. Nothing too major there. Another update for Shopify Inbox that always gets my attention, as I love Shopify Inbox and you should too, but you can edit your Shopify Inbox chat widgets button. This means you can customize the chat widget even further to best fit your brand. So again, the chat widget is the small icon in the bottom right of your store. And what they're saying now is that you can change this look, you can change the size, you can change the writing on this to be more fitting to your brand. And that's always fun. There's an update here on September 25th to Shopify Audiences. Shopify Audiences, we don't need to get into because Shopify Audiences is only available to Plus merchants on the Plus plan. Shopify Plus is Shopify's highest tiered plan, and it's only used for big, very large companies that make millions and millions of dollars, so you don't need to worry about that. But you will get there one day, and once you do, you can read all about Shopify Audiences as much as you like. This improvement here is just a way in the admin to sort your products by meta field. So it says more ways to filter products in admin. You can now filter products in admin by meta field references such as recommended products or influencers. For example, building on our previous release that enabled filtering by single line text and true and false. So again, if you have meta fields on your products, you can now search your products in your admin by those meta fields. This improvement here, storefront API support for product bundles. Merchants using Hydrogen or storefront API through the headless channel in the admin can now offer product bundles with Shopify. So again, this is kind of very high-tech stuff. You don't really need to worry about that as we are all small business owners, up and coming entrepreneurs. Hydrogen and headless are very, very technical things that you don't really need to know about. If you ever saw Drake's collaboration, Drake and Shopify's collaboration, they introduced Hydrogen, storefront APIs, and headless channels with Drake's giant store. If you want to look into that, just Google Shopify Drake store, and you can take a look at Drake's store, and you'll notice that it looks nothing like any normal store that you and I have, with a header and menus and products and stuff like that. It's a whole different way of looking at e-commerce, so you don't need to worry about that at all. And then I'm just going to cheat a little bit here because it'll be a month or so before I make my October update, but why not? We see an improvement here about previewing gift cards before sending. You can now preview gift cards before sending them via email or SMS. This seems like it should have been there already. This is just another way of double checking your work before you send a gift card that may be incorrect. So they just added that improvement, and then that's it. That's it, everyone. Again, nothing crazy coming out of the September updates. There are a lot of little tiny improvements, a couple Shopify flows, a bunch of POSs, a couple Shopify inboxes, and then stuff that may or may not be needed to you. But I really hope you learned something, and now you are updated on the latest and greatest updates coming to the channel, which regardless if any of these are relevant to you or not relevant to you, I'm sure you've learned a lot more about the Shopify platform, just learning about little things like this, even if they're not as applicable to you. So this is why I always look at the changelog, and I always do a video on the latest updates every month so that I continue to learn and so that you continue to learn about the entire platform that you rely your entire business on. Extremely important to always improve, always keep learning, especially in the realm of e-commerce. So I hope you learned some today. If this helped, please leave a like so I know. I really, truly just like helping fellow entrepreneurs on this channel because I have had a Shopify store. I now have many Shopify stores, and I've been in the industry for such a long time. I know how difficult it is, and I know what you're going through. So you don't have to do all of that by yourself. Consider subscribing for next month's update, and consider subscribing for more Shopify expert tips, guides, tutorials, and breakdowns. If you do, I'll see you in the next video.